Hello and welcome to BitSocket, and it's a day ending in Y, which means it's time for a new feature. Do you want to know the name of the feature?
What is the name of the feature, Joe?
It's called Wheat from the Chaff.
Whoa.
I'm going to explain it to you. Scott knows nothing about what we're about to do. I'll tell you a wee story first.
Also don't know much about anything. Don't know much about science.
History.
Oh, is it history it starts with?
History it starts with. Ruined it, didn't you? There's me pillow behind me. Your couch is really long for my wee legs, you know that? Like...
How do you think I feel? I perch on the side of it, my wee legs dangling over the side.
Anyway, recently I've realised that I've got quite a large game collection, right?
Wonder where you're going with that.
I know. And I actually sold quite a few games and items from my collection, and just to get a wee bit of cash and for ready for Christmas and all
Is
that.
everything okay?
Everything's fine.
Wait there. Is everything okay?
Everything's okay.
Alright, we're fine. Let's keep going.
It's more just the shelf space, to be honest. But
Alright.
But even though I sold quite a lot,
Yeah.
I still barely scratched the surface, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I realised I need some outside help to work out.
I'm like that when I have a bath.
So, God. Anyway,
It's really, the top layer comes off, but it's just barely.
a load of scales.
Yeah.
So I realised I need some outside help to help me sort out the wheat from the chaff. So on this first episode of Wheat from the Chaff,
First and only?
we'll see how it goes. I want to read what the label says on this box.
It says Dreamcast.
Yep. We're going to go through my Dreamcast games and we're going to sort out what games should Joe keep and what games should he get rid of.
There's like 20 games in there. Okay, right.
Originally I was going to get Scott to play them all, but that would take hours. So we're going to go through them all, right? And you're going to tell me...
Can I just add, today is actually my birthday and your plan was to get me to play about 20 shite Dreamcast games as a present?
Well, not all shite!
Right,
okay, so what we'll do is I'll give them to you one by one, right?
Right, okay.
Okay, and then you tell the ladies and gentlemen watching what they are, and then we'll make two piles, right? Wheat and chaff.
Right. Wheat's the good stuff, aye.
Wheat is the good stuff.
Wheat is the good stuff.
Right, so first of all...
We've just lost all our non-gluten
Right, so first of all...
Does wheat have gluten in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Of course it does.
So first off we have Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi. Where
Crazy Taxi.
is it chaff and why?
Crazy Taxi's wheat.
Wheat?
Crazy Taxi's wheat all day long.
Okay, cool.
What do you think that fucking book is?
Yeah.
On the Half-Life.
See throughout this video,
right.
Be careful with my boxes, right?
Alright, okay. Maybe, alright, we'll
Because you know Dreamcast boxes are like
crumbling like the guy
yeah.
at the end of Indiana Jones. So no, Crazy Taxi's wheat. I mean, obviously Crazy Taxi 2 was good as well, but this feels like it was like, I don't know, one of the first times you were playing a game in your house that felt like it was from the arcade.
Yeah, like actual...
Like bright, and the music as well, because like newer versions don't have
they brought the music,
they brought the music back? Alright, because I'm
newer
sure
versions don't have Pizza Hut and KFC and all that.
Alright, no, you need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, classic.
Right, okay.
Go in reverse and drive to get the wee boost. No, that's wheat.
Wheat, alright, okay.
Wheat all day long. Toy Commander.
Toy Commander's really good because what's good about it, you get a room, like each level has like one room in a house. No, each level's like a room in a house and you can control any of the vehicles and... Take care of my discs! It's like... Told you! Careful with the merchandise.
Oh, classic. Wait a minute, could just say classic topless man.
Oh yeah, I remember that advert.
That might have just separated this from, I mean, this was going...
I loved all the inserts you used to get.
Soul Calibur, Sega Rally.
We'll get to them.
Sonic Adventure. This one, I mean, I've got no affection for it.
Did you ever play it in Woolies or anything?
Maybe. Chaff.
Okay.
I'm just, you know what, I've got no affection for it.
Right.
No keeping it. Soul Calibur, don't even need to talk about it. Right. Soul Calibur, piece of shit. What I love about it is you can pretty much play this, learn the moves in it for some of the characters, and pretty much be doing the same move for like 4 games.
The moveset's
I often wonder how different my opinion of fighting games would have been if this had been what I'd have had access to instead of like Tekken 2, stuff like that. Especially because I can beat Alison at Soul Calibur, cannot beat her at Tekken.
I've never been a massive fan of Tekken.
No, that's
Soul Calibur definitely.
Soul Calibur, yeah, that's
wheat.
That's bread.
Okay.
That's bread, baby. right?
I've got a feeling this one's going to be controversial.
Sonic Adventure. I keep going to open the box. I'm just gonna this is gonna crumble. Do you know what I'm gonna say? Like in terms of a Dreamcast collection, I think even though I'm not the biggest fan of Sonic Adventure,
right.
I think you'd be wild not to have it.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it is the Dreamcast. It kind of sums up so much of what was good about the Dreamcast and what was maybe not as good.
You know what's funny about Sonic Adventure is that even though
the fucking
it's
thickness of these books,
even though it's extremely buggy, right?
Yeah.
It's less buggy than any other version of Sonic Adventure. Like all the future the future versions of it had like more bugs and didn't look as good and all that. Whereas that one, and also even though it's a 30 frames per second, it plays better than the future versions of it that played at 60.
And this is the one that had like the dolphin chasing it and stuff, isn't it?
The dolphin. No, the big,
that big whale. No, that's
right. Okay.
That's wheat.
Metropolis Street Racer.
Oh, there we go. Now this is a game. I love Metropolis Street Racer. I think it's really good fun. I mean, and this is coming from someone who's not a big, like, I keep saying I'm not a big racing game fan. I do play racing games quite regularly, but Metropolis Street Racer, there's just something really, like, it has that sweet spot where it's not a sim.
Aye.
It's not really arcadey, but it's got a nice kind of middle ground, which I always think is like the sweet spot for some games. Like Ridge Racer, you want Ridge Racer to be like really arcadey. Gran Turismo, you want it to be like a sim, but this is that kind of nice, like you stick it on, have fun. Yeah, that's sweet. Again, one of those like Dreamcast games that I feel like your collection isn't really complete without it. Right,
careful with this one because the box has fallen apart.
Right, let's just. Fucking hell. Oh god. It's like a puzzle. Sega Rally, I'll be honest, I don't think I've played this one.
Sega Rally 2?
Or maybe I have played it, but not, like, I don't have much.
The thing with Sega Rally 2 is it is a good game, but it's one of the few arcade versions on Dreamcast that's not very well made. Yeah. Like, it's just not as smooth as
the box isn't very well made.
Aye. It's just not as smooth as the arcade version was.
Also, powered by Microsoft Windows CE.
Well, they had that in the front of the Dreamcast, but very few games actually
boasted about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Very little to boast about in this. We need to push it.
It's good, but it's not a classic.
You know what? No.
Chaff. Right,
Chaff. Put it in the Chaff pile. Also, the box is fucked.
Next one.
Oh no, there's not $2.99.
I know. Just like Sega Alley though, that's one of those ones that it's not as good as arcade version.
Yeah, that's true, but it's a Virtua Fighter game.
Also, it's kind of the black sheep of the Virtua Fighter family because it added the free step button.
Yeah.
And then they took that away for all the future games because they were like, no, and then it's the only one that's got sloped arenas and stuff as well.
See, I like wee variations on that because otherwise you're just playing the same game over and over again.
I like it, but it's.
No, I'll never Virtua Fighter games, even ones that aren't as good as the other kind of core series, I think always deserve a place in the wheat pile.
Right.
Sonic Adventure 2. Right. Right. The thing about Sonic Adventure 2 is that I feel like more so than Sonic Adventure 1 is if you were to draw like where did the rot set in?
Yeah.
It's this
it's
game.
One,
as soon as
it's Shadow
the Hedgehog appeared
and all that,
with his like, does he get a gun in this game or is it just his sword?
No, it's not this game.
But I mean, that was the end.
The absolute nadir.
But I feel like apart from the amazing opening level with
that's the only good level in that game, really.
Yeah, really. It's just there's not as much to it. It's got fucking Rouge the Bat. I feel like this is where the rot set in.
Oh, I've got a feeling I know where Scott's going to put this.
Yeah, so I think while I think Sonic Adventure 1 is something that Dreamcast owners should have in their pile, I think Sonic Adventure 2 is very much it's optional. I like how you're like, that's worth a lot of money and the cover just falls right off in my fucking hand.
Right, here we go.
Oh, Phantasy Star Online. I mean, is it still as much fun playing it offline, really?
Okay, well, here's
Phantasy Star offline?
Here's the thing though. I can't play that.
Oh, why?
Because there's no serial number that one, right? So and you need to input a serial number to play it.
So this is just
it's just essentially useless. Apart from it's got the Sonic Adventure 2 trial disc.
You may as well give me a box.
Straight into the chaff.
A box with no disc in it.
Right.
It's a shame because I would say if you could still play it the way you used to play it, it would be an essential, but you can't. So
here we go.
Oh, Capcom versus SNK. The idea of getting 25 characters in a video game without having to then buy a bunch of them, or Smash Brothers style wait for them to tell you who's... They've never said who the last fighter in Smash Brothers is. I mean, it's going to be Wario. Wario again. Just Wario again. Just another Wario. Yeah, that's wheat.
Right.
Grandia 2, I mean, controversially, PlayStation 2 version's better.
No, it's not.
Yeah, this is sweet. This is good. I remember playing this as well on the Dreamcast, and it's very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wheat.
Oh, aye. Can you imagine me putting a JRPG in the chaff pile? Well, actually, Fantasy Star Online.
Right, here we go.
Fighting Vipers 2.
I was desperate to play that game for ages.
Yeah.
And I finally got it. You know what? It's alright, but it's not that good.
I know, do you know, that's kind of like, because I remember you got, was it not Fighting Vipers 2 and... Project Justice. Which we'll talk about soon. But like, one was fine and the other one was Project Justice. Which, it is the thing is, as a fighting game, it's really interesting. It's got lots of the armour that you knock off people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's got really interesting characters.
How did it happen, the armour thing? Like,
oh yeah,
fights without it ever happening. And then knocking through the barriers, that was like it's like you can knock your opponent through the barrier, but hardly ever happened. So, I'd say it's Chaff.
I'd say it's Chaff. Shame, good game though. Like a great game.
Talking about Project Justice though.
Well. To be honest, it's a series that now I think is like, I would love to see it come back in some way.
I would like to see that.
That disc as well, beautiful purple disc.
Either an HD remake of that, not even an HD, even just a re-release
of that,
or like a new version.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty much got a bunch of the characters from like Street Fighter in some ways. They kind of teach us pretty much Ryu and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but yeah, it is honestly one of my favourite fighting games. So it is Chaff.
Oh.
Wheat.
Right. Okay.
Power Stone.
Power Stone.
Yahoo! Challenge 1. Are you ready? Action!
Even though obviously it was surpassed, I would say, by Power Stone 2.
Some folk would say the first one's purer.
I like having like more.
Second one.
There's like 4 players.
I agree.
I think it's great. I think it's like, it's got the weirdest announcer in any.
Yeah. Welcome to Power Stone World.
Like as if they were just like they were recording, but the person didn't know they were doing it. Yeah, love it. Again, there's games that's weak. There are games that like feel like they need to be in a Dreamcast collection. Power Stone 2 is going right in that pile as well, man. It's so good. Like
the first one, I think, as well.
Just the characters. Just you look at that front cover, right? Both of them, they've just got fun-looking characters.
Yeah, Capcom are really cover. Like. I know people are saying Capcom are doing well nowadays, because they've got a lot of successful. But back then,
and the levels as well. Like the level on like the submarines would come up. You could jump in the wee guns.
You could fly in the wee jet things as well and drop bombs. And
it's just like I genuinely don't think there's been a fighting game as creative as this. And again, Power Stone I think is one of those ones that people always say like, why do we not have a Power Stone collection?
Exactly. Why don't we?
I genuinely don't know.
Right, we're getting.
But that's definite. Oh, Skies of Arcadia. Oh.
I love Skies
of Arcadia is brilliant.
So much. Probably one of my favourite RPGs ever.
Again, nothing really quite like it that combined like the kind of more traditional kind of like more traditional kind of JRPG with
the combat was extremely traditional.
Yeah, but like on top of that, you also had like ship to ship fighting and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, they were like more like big cinematic events.
Yeah,
storyline's great in it as well. I quite like how light-hearted it is. Like,
again, this is one that I mean, I've just joked about it there, but I would happily pay a decent amount of money to play this on a modern console. Yeah. That is definitely. Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
I feel like it's one that ends up in the wheat pile because it's kind of like, it's one of those big Dreamcast games. But it was bettered. Yeah, I'd say that it is a good game, but yeah, it's going in the chaff pile. It's going in the chaff. Look, you can't have everything.
Get all the price stickers.
I know, $12.99, $9.99. Please take it for $7.99.
Right, next one.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the GOAT. And I think, although obviously, there's been Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate, was that?
Never played that one, but 3 was great.
But I just feel like this is when, like, again, solid roster, like quite a few characters. There was 56 characters.
Yeah, it's mental.
I mean, that's loads for a game this time. Really good fun. Yeah, that's just one of my absolute favourite fighting games. That is pure wheat.
Daytona USA 2001. Funny because I was looking forward to playing that one for so long, but it just didn't quite match up to what I wanted it to be.
Didn't quite tickle your pick.
Also, if you want to play Daytona USA, the version that you can download on the Xbox or the PS3 is probably the better version to play.
Based on that, then.
Aye.
Chaff it.
Okay. Couple imports.
First of
all,
Dead
or Alive 2.
But the biggest problem with Dead or Alive is that it got caught up in the kind of like
the sort of weirdo sort of.
Well, the kind of the period this was kind of getting big.
Yeah.
Also coincided with, certainly in the UK, with the rise of things like Loaded magazine. So a lot of the focus on them wasn't necessarily how good's the fighting system. It was, look, you can make the breasts jiggle loads and loads. If you make, what was it? There was an age thing. So you made the age higher, the breast jiggled more and stuff like that. Stuff like that really distracted from the fact that it's a really good fighting system. Genuinely, like, the counter system's really good fun, levels are great fun, and it looks good too. Like, it's just a shame that...
Looks better on the Dreamcast than it does on the PS2 as well. I've got the PS2 version as well, and it doesn't look as good.
It's just a shame that, it got caught up in all that, so I would say it is definitely wheat. The wheat pile's pretty fucking big.
Virtualon, Oratorio Tangram. Right now, good game, but what am I missing? What do I not have?
You don't have the joysticks.
The joysticks for it, so you can't play it really.
Yeah,
you can, but it's a pain in the ass.
I think anytime we've played it, I've beaten you at it, which probably shows it's not a good game. It's good fun, but without the proper way to play it, it's not as enjoyable as maybe a game designed more for the pad. Although the cover and that barcode thing there is absolutely cool as fuck. It's almost like it goes in that pile because I really like the cover and the box. But
yeah, I've got a few games like that.
But no, I think...
Okay. Well, the thing is, if you've got Yakuza Kiwami 2, you can play Virtualon in the arcade there. Right, before we go into our last one, this is our second last. It's a bit of a special one. This is the one that I bought recently. I think this came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
Ah, right.
And it's
the Ghost Blade.
Ghost Blade. It's a shmup. It's a wee indie shmup, but they did this physical version for the Dreamcast, and of course I bought it because I'm an idiot.
Limited to 1,000 copies.
Yeah, but since then, of course, it's now been released on PS4, Xbox.
Since then they made another 100,000 copies.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there was another limited run version of like the HD version as well. You can get it for Switch as well, actually, the Switch version and everything. So I don't know.
I mean, I have no.
It is good, but.
Straight. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. I have no affection for it. I don't know it. I don't know her.
Right. Okay.
She didn't go to my school.
You ready? It's the big one.
All right.
Do these both at the same time.
Shenmue
you
1
can't talk about one without talking about the other.
Okay.
Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2.
I mean, I'm not like a Shenmue disliker or anything. I'm not. Or am I? Have I gone on record saying I don't like Shenmue?
You finished Shenmue 1.
I finished Shenmue 1, I can't be arsed finishing Shenmue 2.
In fact, you've got Shenmue 3, don't you?
I've never played it.
Like collector's
it's like
edition as well.
there. It's like it's on my shelf, sealed. When did Shenmue 3 come out? Like 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get that played, man.
My longest experience with Shenmue 3 was watching the video you made of it. That is it. That has been it.
And he texted me like, that's the best thing you've ever done.
It was. I don't watch a lot of the BitSocket videos because I'm in them for the most part. And I find it weird watching stuff with people in it that I know.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what? Joe's spent so long making it. He's a labour of love. I'm going to watch it. Texted him to compliment him because I really liked the video. And he was like, fuck off, stop taking the piss. So that is why Scott does not watch any of the BitSocket videos. The thing is, right, we're talking about essential Dreamcast games. I think they are wheat. They are the definition of wheat. I definitely think that games in general, while we don't see replicas of this, the seeds of it appear everywhere. Like living towns, people who have like routines within those towns. I think the influence of Shenmue, and for the people who make games, is huge. I don't think it can be overstated. It is more about establishing a sense of place and a sense of character rather than just fighting. Whereas like I'm playing Lost Judgment at the moment, which just came out. So are you?
It's full of fights.
It's full of fights. Yeah. It's like I was actually surprised that like there's some streets where I could actually barely move for like triggering fight, and then I'd finish a fight, and then another fight would start immediately, and it's like, I mean, that's great fun, but I was like, Shenmue knew to like fighting is like, it's not his first thing that he wants to naturally do. Obviously, as it gets into Shenmue 2, there is a bit more fighting and bigger fighting because it gets a bit more epic. So yeah, it's definite wheat.
Cool.
Definitely.
I'm glad I didn't put it on top of that pile because that would not last. That would just crumpled, like a massacre of
crumpled into dust. So
like,
yeah, I would
like crystal soil all over you.
I have to break the hoover out.
No,
so I would say overall, you've got a pretty good Dreamcast.
Okay. I'll check how much this list all goes for in CX.
I think probably. I think in terms of, I think you'd get fuck all in CX to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Fighting Vipers 2, you'd maybe get something for. I don't think they would take the Japanese games. I don't know actually. I think you'd probably have to go specialist. I think Fighting Vipers would probably be the one you'd get the most for.
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah. But you're not going to get rid of them, are you?
Well, I might. That's the thing. That's the whole point of doing this. Is like maybe.
And you'll donate all the money to charity. That's great.
Aye.
Aye. Charity, Joe.
See you next month. Well,
this is good.
If you like this feature, we'll do next month. We'll do PS2 games from myself. All the shite I've got in the PS2.
Is this just a way of helping you clear out the stuff in your head?
Yeah. Did anyone buy this file?
I was going to say, who came up with this idea? Was it you or was it your wife?
No, it was me. It was me.
Joe, do you want to be a good feature? Hey, you fucking tidy this room.
Anyway, until next time,
keep it socking.